Dumelo Madlala's cross-examination enters the fourth day today. Yesterday, the media was kicked out of court after showing his face. In September, Judge Maumela issued journalists with a warning for harassing Madlala in court. Broadcasters are set to meet with the judge before proceedings get underway. eNCA Silindelo Masikane has been following the story and joins us live. Good morning, Silindelo. So order might be restored for today, where broadcasts will continue, but we understand the capturing of Dumelo's visuals yesterday was due to an error and not necessarily malice. Talk to us about this incident.
Yeah, certainly an unfortunate incident, one that, of course, we know shouldn't have happened. However, it was not intentional for Dumelo Madlala's visual to be caught by one of the cameras inside court. There is an order in place that says that Dumelo Madlala's identity, or while he's in the witness box, he cannot or will not or does not want to be on camera. And, of course, he is well within his rights to request this. And so, the Judge Chifo Maumela really expressing his dissatisfaction yesterday with what happened, and ultimately chucking not only the TV broadcasters out, but as well as print, online and radio journalists until the perpetrator was found. And it seems that that has happened, and we are expecting that a meeting then will take place with the judge before proceedings begin, just to iron out anything else that needs to happen before we resume at 10 a.m. However, we did get some legal analysis with regards to perhaps the reaction from the court in terms of checking the media out and what the way forward could possibly be. Let's take a listen.
My thoughts on that was that I think, yes, maybe the judge might have overreacted because he didn't really get exactly what happened. As it has been reported, there was a mistake. It wasn't deliberate. But I think he's also leaning on the dignity of the witness. There is case law that says there must be a balance between freedom of expression and the human dignity of the witness. So as much as the media has the freedom, which is good also for the public, so that matters can be reported in court, also the dignity of the witness is important. But I think what the judge should have done should have got exactly what happened, which I think has been resolved, and it will be clear before the case starts that there was a mistake. It wasn't deliberate on the part of the media.
All right. And then insofar as cross-examination is concerned yesterday, some say there were a lot of concessions that Advocate Mshololo got, particularly around exactly who fired that fatal shot. It seems that Dumelo could not actually argue to say that he had seen who possibly shot Senzo Meyiwa on that day. Can you just take us through what we heard yesterday?
Yeah, certainly some inconsistencies in terms of the testimony that Madlala has put on record in his evidence in chief. Some inconsistencies coming out in terms of his cross-examination with the lawyer for accused 124, Titi Tobane, and now, of course, under cross-examination by Advocate Zandile Mshololo for accused number 5. Already he's admitted that he cannot identify accused number 5 as one of the two intruders in the house. He says he's never seen Fiso Ntuli apart from seeing him in court. But then, of course, Shololo questioning exactly the credibility of his account of what happened, because we know that those who were in the house were drinking. We already know that some evidence was removed from the crime scene in terms of alcohol cans, so we don't know how much was consumed on the day. And so Shololo saying that the account or the recollection of Dumelo Madlala is questionable. He's also been labeled as an evasive witness who doesn't answer questions. On several occasions he's been asked by the judge to answer the question and not answer questions with questions. But what we saw a lot of yesterday was, of course, another statement of Madlala's that he made in 2018, where he went into detail about the gun that the alleged first intruder had, and he described it as old and rusty. Yes. In court, he's also said that he remembered that it had a wheel in the middle. So those are very specific details that he remembers, but very simple questions around what time they arrived at the house or what time he left Durban. Those kinds of details he says he can't remember. Also, let's not forget he refuses to tell us how much he was paid for his feature in the Netflix documentary. And Shololo seems to be painting a picture of somebody who sold his friend's images for a quick paycheck, who was not loyal to Meyiwa after his death, because despite being paid for this feature, he did not share the proceeds with either the Meyiwa family or his children. The judge even questioned him to say, but if Senzo and yourself were so close, do his children not count as being yours as well? So his character is in question. His recollection of what happened is in question. In fact, what was also interesting was when he said to him, Shololo, he also found it quite bizarre that Longwe Twala allegedly, pushed one of the intruders when they came in, the one in particular with a gun. Yes. And he says that he also found it very strange. So, I think it's going to be quite interesting exactly what we hear today in terms of that cross-examination.